Welcome to today's podcast interview. I brought on Adelajda Child. Adelajda, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Heather. It's great to be here.
I am stoked for today's convo. So I'd love for you to give listeners a little background. Where do you live and what do you do?
So I'm originally from Poland. However, I live in Long Beach, California, and I am a PSYCH-K instructor. So what is PSYCH-K? PSYCH-K is a modality that helps people to overcome stress, trauma, and most for all, limiting beliefs. It's a method that it's not new. It's with us more than 37 years. And it's growing in power every day. And it's being taught in more than 40 countries in the world, more than 15 languages in the world. And I am one of the 30 instructors who are teaching this wonderful modality. So that's the long story short.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll get into Psych-K as a modality for reprogramming. But what I really want to touch on, really, we're actually going to deep dive. But I'd love for you to, we're going to start at the top. If you could define our subconscious mind, what is it? What's the power behind it? And why do we need to know what's in there?
Thank you for asking that because lately we started to talk about subconscious mind and subconscious work and subconscious healing. So yeah, this is the most misunderstood, in my opinion, topic because often we have a misconceptions between what is the subconscious mind and what isn't. And the best way to explain that is to compare it with our conscious mind. Okay, because conscious mind is the mind that we are the most aware of. But actually, it's neuroscience, so we get neuroscience into it, talks about that subconscious mind is 95% of our consciousness. So, and 5% is our conscious mind. And I was shocked when I learned about that. Like, you're telling me that I live my life 95% from subconscious mind and I'm not aware of that? That's crazy. So I was very passionate to learn about that before I even became PSYCH-K instructor. What is that? And to deep dive to go deeper into it, let's talk about the conscious mind and compare it with the subconscious mind. So 5% to 95%. So conscious mind is volitional. What does that mean? Conscious mind is the one that has the free will. So we set goals and judge results. And so that way we're able to basically follow our dreams or set our dreams and then see if this dream was worth having, or maybe I should change the direction. So this is the way our conscious mind operates. When it comes to our subconscious mind is habitual. It loves habits. So once we learn something through repetition, this goes into our subconscious mind and is very helpful because when we are born, we learn how to eat and talk and walk once, and then we don't have to relearn that, right? Driving the car. Remember when you were learning how to drive the car at the beginning, you were like very stressed. Don't talk to me. I have to be really focused on the road. And nowadays, you sit in a car and you drive the car, you talk to someone over the phone with the headset. And after an hour, you're there, you're at your destination. So who was driving? It was your subconscious mind. So it's habitual. Okay. So it's like tape recorder. So once you learn something, it's in your subconscious mind. Now, when it comes to conscious mind, it's thinks abstractly. And so what does that mean? When you close your eyes, and I invite you to do it if you want to do it, to our listeners, just close your mind and think about something that is um, stressing you and see how you're feeling, what your body is doing. Okay, probably you will start experiencing a tension, or maybe your heartbeat is going to go up. And so immediately you're starting to react to it. But also when you think about something that is relaxing and fun, like think about your favorite person or think about the favorite place in the world and focus on that and notice what your body is doing. It's relaxing. Probably you feel better. You start having great experience. However, once you open your eyes, you notice that you're here in this place and you're not dealing with a stressful situation, or you're not in this with this favorite person because it was abstract. So your conscious mind understand that you can bring you into places, and it's basically your imagination, right? Well, when it comes to the subconscious mind, it does not have that ability of thinking abstractly. It thinks literally, right? So with this first exercise, you notice your body immediately went or into like a stress response or relaxed response. And here's what it was. It was your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind immediately reacted to something that is abstract because it did not understand that you're not doing these things that you were thinking. So it has no ability to think abstractly. It's happening immediately, right? So, so think about conscious and subconscious as conscious, understand imagination, subconscious things like it's happening. When you wake up from the dream, you thought you were feeling like this is actually happening, right? But the moment you woke up, or like, oh, this is not happening, because your subconscious mind is the one who's dreaming as well. Now, when it comes to time, so conscious mind constantly lives in the past or in the future. So you think about what you will do in 5 minutes, what you will do in 5 years, or what you were just doing, or 10 years ago. So it constantly jumps from the future to the past, future, past. We have thousands and thousands of thoughts every day. I call the conscious mind like this jumping monkey, right? And so when we meditate, we trying to bring that conscious mind into one spot. And our conscious mind doesn't like it because it doesn't exist in the here and now. So that monkey doesn't want to sit still. The moment we stop focusing, immediately our mind goes somewhere else. But when it comes to the subconscious mind, it's only here and now. Why? Because it's responsible for our body, for our motor functions, like heart rate, um, the way we walk, right? The walking, our mechanics, our immune system, and so on. And so it has to be here and now. So it's the subconscious mind that is very timeless. And here's the difference as well. When we think about something that is stressful from the past or something that did not happen yet and it's still stressful, guess what's going to happen to our subconscious mind? It's going to react because it doesn't understand that it's not happening. So if we have some emotional charge to situations that happened even 20 years ago, subconscious mind will not understand it's not happening because it doesn't have the ability to think abstractly, thinks literally, right? So that's the difference. This is the main difference. And I think the biggest difference is also with the memory. And that's also from neuroscience. So our conscious mind, its function, it's 20 seconds memory. So it has short-term memory. So let's say if you go to the kitchen and you're in the kitchen and then you ask yourself, why am I here? Well, you basically forget why you came to the kitchen because you had probably three other thoughts before you arrived there. Oh, I wanted to have a tea, right? So that's the function of a conscious mind, but subconscious mind has a long-term memory. Remember, we talk about that once you learn something through repetitions, you will have it already within you because it's your subconscious mind's function. So it's your long-term memory. And for the subconscious mind, it programs itself from the moment we were conceived. Till 7 years old, we are in the theta state, and it's called those waves are called the waves of hypnosis. So we are in a super learning state to learn everything about the world, our family, the rules, and so on. So we're being programmed, and our subconscious mind is the one that has everything. Even we don't remember things, but that's why it's 95% it's in our subconscious mind, because once we learn something, then it's our in our body, in our subconscious mind. So it's really, really interesting.
Okay,
And what, yes,
I want to pause there before we go on because I don't want to lose
sure.
people. For some people, this is new information. For you and I, we
Hmm.
study this, we know this
Yeah,
day in and day out. And so
yeah.
what I want to bring to the table is the idea of a picture, since our mind works in pictures. And what came to mind while you were sharing all that is the idea of a garden. So
Hmm.
our conscious desires, the things we want to have, be, do, and experience are the seeds that we plant in the subconscious mind. But, and as you shared, repetition and consistency. So think about beliefs and fertilizing it with focus. Let's talk about, because this is where people can relate. Let's
Yeah,
talk about where people are stuck or struggling and efforting. They want financial freedom. They
yeah,
want that loving relationship. They want business success,
yeah.
and they're trying and they're not getting there. Why don't we talk about that?
Yes, that's also a subject that I'm very passionate about it, because here we have to talk about the difference between our dreams and desires and our subconscious um, programming or subconscious beliefs and desires. Because often, if not, I would say, 100% is when we're trying to get something and we're not getting it. And it's so hard and difficult, is most of the time when our subconscious beliefs are not aligned with our conscious dreams and desires. And often we've heard remember we talk about I talk about when we grow in the childhood, we learn everything. So let's think about what kind of environment we grew up and what was happening when we were, let's say, about money or finances or success. If you've heard from your parents that you have to work really hard to be successful, guess what your subconscious mind programmed? On a subconscious level, you believe, on a subconscious level, you believe that you need to work really, really hard. And so you do, right? Because that's the way. And yet, when you look around, there are people who can push one button and they make thousands of dollars
Yep.
and they don't have to work hard,
Yeah.
right? So it's really important to change the subconscious beliefs to it's easy and fun for me to earn money, or money comes to me easily. Success is easy for me, and so on. And to change that in your subconscious mind, that's very important. So it's one thing to want it and believe it on a conscious level, but if your subconscious beliefs are not aligned with it, that's why we struggle. Yeah.
And I feel like somebody might be thinking, well, how do I figure out what's in my subconscious mind? And I love this
Right.
line from Dr. Bruce Lipton. He
Mhm.
says, your life is a printout of your subconscious programming. So we're not disempowered in every area of life. There's some subconscious programming that is empowering you. So I want people to pay attention. What comes easily? What's your zone of genius? What don't you have to struggle? It comes to you versus where you struggling. And I want to share, this is so timely. This literally happened 2 days ago on LinkedIn. So I want your perspective. But somebody was giving advice and I took a picture of their post and then I broke down their three, I don't want to give it away, three limiting beliefs. But I just want to hear your perspective on what this person, and this was their advice they're giving.
Okay.
So here's their beliefs. Best things don't come easy. Then she said, if it's easy, it lacks value. And then you have to hustle through the chaos.
Wow.
I know. And I was like, well, that's certainly one way to do it, but that's the hard way. But let's talk
Wow.
about that. I think those are very much um, normal beliefs. And
Hmm.
why is that keeping people in their where they're at?
Wow. Well, first of all, when I hear these beliefs, I am, I would say I don't wish these beliefs upon anyone.
Yeah.
It's upon anyone because those are limiting beliefs, very limiting beliefs. So can you read the first one again? Because I want to.
Best things don't come easy.
There you go. Best things don't come easy. So you need, so this is the part where you have to work really hard to get the best things. So now the people who are struggling with success, which is the best thing for them, will not come easily. And then they say, well, I work so hard and so long, and every time I'm close to something that is very good, I'm not getting it. Why am I doing it? Why am I self-sabotaging myself?
Yeah.
Because you probably have that belief on the subconscious level. And especially if you speak it out loud, guess what? This is 100% you have that limiting beliefs because you even agree with that on a conscious level. So,
Yeah.
of course, you're not going to get your success or health or whatever it is easily because best things are not coming easily. And the second one was the second one.
If it's easy, it lacks value.
Okay, that's another huge self-limiting belief. And so many people have it. You hear that over and over and over from so many things, from so many resources, right? Sources, from your teachers, from your parents, from books, from everywhere, right? And so, of course, best things. Or I'm sorry, can you repeat that? Ah, I'm
If it's
so
easy, it
yeah,
lacks value.
yeah. And so you're going to make your life very difficult. You're going to self-sabotage yourself and make it very difficult to get that. And once you get it, it's like, oh, I finally got it. But imagine that. That's what is very valuable. It's simple. Having the best, the most beautiful partner in your life is someone who is person who you know what to expect from, right? Who is gives you peace of mind, who gives you love, and it's very stable, right? So it's very simple.
Yeah. You know what? Here's another one off topic of this one, but came to mind. So I watched Love is Blind. It's this
Hmm.
dating series on Netflix, and I watch it because I love the psychology and observations and paying attention to people's limiting beliefs and insecurities. I love learning about that. But
Yeah,
here's one when it comes to relationships, because that's also a huge pain point for people. And the belief was, and I heard it in many couples, you have to fight for us.
yeah. And
But
what's happening?
they're
What's happening?
fighting.
They're fighting because they have this belief they have to fight for us. And this, and do they like that? Of course not. There's this huge drama they're creating
Yeah.
because we have to fight for. No, you don't. The best relationships are when you don't fight. You know, I was in relationships, oh my goodness, before I understood my limiting beliefs about relationships, I was in terrible toxic relationships. And I would break up with the person and then I would date exactly the same person,
Yep.
different face, different like even a city, but it was exactly the same person because I believed that dot, right?
Yeah.
That, and some people would say, well, but it's going to be boring. And I'm like, there's nothing boring in having a wonderful relationship where you don't fight because actually you agree with each other. You go into the same direction. You have the same values. you have more in common than actually not. That's where you don't have to fight. But if you have a belief, we have to fight for it, well, you're going to be fighting for a long time. Yeah.
Here's what I'd love to have you do. I want you to discuss Psych-K at a high level so that individuals can learn more about it because Psych-K is one way to reprogram. But so I want you to define it and talk about Psych-K. And then I really want you to share some real world examples when we uncover our limiting beliefs and we reprogram them. So now our subconscious mind is in alignment with our conscious mind. What's possible?
Mm. So Psyche is a tool that helps us to align our subconscious beliefs to our conscious dreams and desires. Psyche is a tool that helps us to uncover limiting beliefs. So we will be able to find limiting beliefs and change them and shift them into our mind. Psyche is using tools that are very easy. So, hey, if you think easy is not worthy having, probably you're gonna struggle with this because it's a really simple yet powerful modality and processes that allows us to shift. So what Psyche does, it helps us to reprogram subconscious beliefs. It helps us to reduce stress and trauma, and it helps us to function on our highest potential without those limiting beliefs. Because if you believe you can, you can. But if you believe you cannot, guess what? You cannot. And that's what Henry Ford was saying long time ago. So think about that. And if you believe that something that is worth having has to be difficult, well, you're going to make difficult yourself and you will find it as you self-sabotage yourself and you will not understand why. So Psyche not only will help you to find those subconscious beliefs, but also it helps you to reprogram them within few seconds to few minutes. What we do in Psyche, we're using whole brain postures and whole brain movements that allows the subconscious mind to bring itself to a whole brain state. And so whole brain state is when your left and right hemisphere are working simultaneously. And just to say, what does that mean, left and right hemisphere? It's from the brain dominance theory that talks about that both hemispheres have completely different functions and they resolve completely different problems. Once they're working simultaneously, so left hemisphere, as we know, it's more intellect or it's more logic and reason, and right hemisphere, it's emotions and it's more intuition. So it's important that intuition and reason are working together in every situation, especially the stressful ones. And so psychic processes allow us to get into a whole brain state. And once we're in a whole brain state, we're able to reprogram anything that we want to reprogram, and we're ready to reprogram. And what was the second part of the second question?
So once we uncover and reprogram, I just want to shine a light for individuals what's possible on the other side, that you don't have to struggle, that financial freedom is your birthright, that loving relationships, I mean, you can have that, and material objects or whatever success, you can have it all when you get to the root cause, which are those weeds in your mental garden.
Well, I can speak from my experience. 10 years ago, I was broke. I had no job. I had to go back to live with my parents at age 27. I was after another terrible relationship. And when I started to do subconscious work, I immediately shifted to another reality. I started to I had a job that I love. My income was doubling every year. Every year I found my husband. I'm married now. I'm going to be married 10 years now with the most loving, caring, supporting man I ever met. And my career is blooming. Like my private life is amazing. I do what I wanted. I wanted to travel the world and work while traveling. I wanted to have wonderful relationships and friendships. And so my life completely changed. And if somebody 10 years ago would tell me that I will be doing what I'm doing, I would say it's not possible because I was in such a low point at my life that I said to myself, why it happened? Because I finished private college. I had this amazing corporate life. Like I was doing what I thought I was supposed to be doing, but I crashed and burned. And what you said when we've met this morning, that you believe you create your reality, I've read that in the first book. It was a book of Anthony Demelo, Awakening. Duh. This is when I was awakening. And when I read that in that book, I was angry. What do you mean I created this reality? I did not want to be broke and live with my parents and this and this and that. This is terrible. You're not going to say this to me. But then, after the anger went down, I was like, okay, if the teachers are saying I create this reality, let me check that. Let me actually create the reality. And how do I do it? And this is where the journey started when I'm here and was subconscious work. That's the way. Find out your limiting beliefs through subconscious work and shift them on a subconscious level. And yes, there are many different modalities there. Even Bruce Lipton, I think on his website, he has about 35 subconscious work modalities. Until now, he says that PSYCH-K is his favorite modality. And he wrote his book because of PSYCH-K, Biology of Belief, which I highly recommend to anyone who's left brain. There's this whole neuroscience, amazing,
Yeah.
in a very, very approachable language. And
Yeah.
at the end, he says, and there is PSYCH-K that will allow you and help you to change those subconscious programs because you are not the victim of your genes.
Yeah.
You are the only victim. You are is from your beliefs. And actually, he says about environment, but at the end, it's beliefs. And how do you change beliefs? This is how you change beliefs.
Yeah.
So it's really an incredible work of Bruce Lipton as well. So I and my clients are changing. I have millions of stories, literally, because I work with Psyche for a long time. And the last story that I had from a workshop that I just taught in Poland was a girl who did the basic workshop and she came back to do advanced workshop and she said, I'm back because I not only healed my fear of heights, but I also started to fly. I'm learning how to fly on a how you it's not a parachute, it's how it's like with the engine. How do you call it? So you can have a parachute with an engine behind you.
Oh,
It's
I
a
don't.
It's just like a special, like the way of flying. So it's not only you jump down, but also there is an engine behind you, so you can actually fly on a parachute. It's this. So she's not only overcame her fear of heights, but actually she's learning how to fly, and and she did that with one processes of Psyche, and it's just incredible to hear this story. Not only overcome something, but you go further with
Yeah.
something that you thought that you will never do.
Well, that's why I love sharing the idea that the sky is not the limit, your belief system is.
Sky is not the limit.
Yeah.
I
And even
agree.
I, this is why I love coming at it from all different angles, but like
Mhm.
ancient wisdom, the Hermetic principles, the
Yeah.
first principle is mentalism, all is mind. And when you truly understand that
Mhm.
and take your power back, get out of victim mentality that life is
Oh,
happening to you.
yeah.
No, it's happening through you.
Yeah.
Then you're like, okay, if I created this, then I can create the opposite. And we can.
Yeah. You have to take responsibility on you. Okay, if I created this mess, well, I can recreate it.
Yeah.
And this is how you get out of the victim mentality instead of blaming this boyfriend, that boss, this, person, that person. No, I am there too. And actually, this is my responses. So if I change, the world will change for me. So
Yes.
yeah, you can stay in this victim mentality and blame everything and everyone. But at the end, if you get into the realization that it's you, because when you point the finger, guess how many fingers are pointing at you?
Right.
Three.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's you. So take the responsibility and you will recreate your life the way you want it. And look at the subconscious work because this is the way, as you know, because you said you are also a self-help junkie. There are so many things out there to help people, right?
Yeah.
To help ourselves. But through our experience, I believe that that subconscious work is the way to go. And I am the best. I feel like I am the best from my perspective example of how I've changed my life
Right.
completely from living paycheck to paycheck to even go broke and live to my parents. Now, having six-figure income and just keep on dabbling it, having amazing husband, having amazing life, traveling, because I know that the best things come easily to me. And the best
Yes.
things are simple because the divine is simple. So keep
Yeah.
it divine. It's people who are complicated.
Yeah.
Divine is simple. Yeah.
What I'd love to ask is what are some of your daily rituals that keep you mindful and intentional?
What I like to do is, besides psychic processes, but I like to just center myself. So I like to recharge my centers in a quiet moment and give them blessings. So just really close my eyes and focus on each chakra for several seconds and give blessings to it. And that helps me to center myself. I love that. It just gives me clarity. But besides that, I am doing psyche processes because these processes I'm able to do in the middle of LAX and nobody even see what I'm doing because it's a sitting process. And I stopped meditating with self. I stopped doing everything else. I just really stayed with psyche. I'm sorry. I'm just like I'm
Yeah.
eating, breathing,
Yeah.
and bathing in those processes because they're so simple and so easy and they're in my pocket and I can use them everywhere. Yeah.
We've touched on a lot today. Oh, you know what? Before we go there, we didn't
Mhm.
talk yet about superconscious mind. Can we touch on that?
Ooh, yes. Yes. So superconscious mind is different than subconscious mind and conscious mind. It's completely different. And this is also where people I feel not feel I know that also misunderstand what superconscious mind is, and you can call it the universe, you can call it God, some people call it the source or higher self or spirit, but this is many names for the same thing. In Psyche we call it superconscious mind, and so I will stay with that. And what is it? It's your spiritual guidance, basically. It's the spiritual guidance that knows exactly where you're coming from, why you're here, where you're going. It has all the knowledge about you and knows and basically it's you. You are its expression, it's inside of you, it's outside of you, it's everywhere.
Mm.
It's like we are a fish swimming in the water that we don't know that this is water and more outside that fish doesn't see. That's your superconscious mind. Everything around us is superconscious mind. When it comes to timing, it is infinite timing. It's everything is happening simultaneously, past, future, and present is happening simultaneously here and now. So it's really quantum physics goes into it really deeply. If you're interested from the quantum physics perspective, probably Heather, Nassim.
Yeah.
Nassim
Yeah.
Haramein. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, I'm such a huge fan of him. Nassim, he is self-taught quantum physicist, very recognized right now. where he was really literally kicked out from every school because he was questioning the teachers because it was something was not right when he was talking about that, and now he is doing amazing stuff.
Uh,
And actually he proved that our human DNA is in the center of the universe. Many teachers talk about that we are in the center of the universe, but he proves it with math. Like he takes math and he puts us on a scale, and we actually are in the center of the universe through the microcosmos, right? To the huge cosmos, and we are there in the middle. So that superconscious mind is also, if it comes to the speed, it's so fast they cannot measure it how fast it is, but it's the speed of the thought. And we experience it every day. How many times, Heather, it happened to you when you thought about someone and they just texted you or called you?
yep.
Yeah.
I play a game. I will think about somebody and then I want to see how long it takes to get the text, the call, the mess. I play the game.
Yep. Yeah, I do the same. It's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, my friend, she's gonna call me. Yeah, here we go. She's calling me.
Yep.
And
So,
so, mhm.
sorry to interrupt. Are you saying ultimately what I hear, like the superconscious is the all-knowing, the omniscient, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. All exactly. And so we're just experiencing that, but we are it. We are connected to it. And again, it's our limiting beliefs. If you believe that you're disconnected,
Yep.
well, guess what? You're disconnecting yourself.
Yeah.
But if you're believed you're part of the universe, you're part of the superconscious mind, you are connected with with your higher self, then higher self is always talking to you and always comes through you. It's just, again, our limiting beliefs that are not helping us, but because we are spiritual beings having a human experience.
Yeah.
We're not bodies with a spirit. No, we are spirits with body. And through this body, we are able to experience this 3D reality.
Yeah.
And so the superconscious, we are part of the superconscious mind. We're part of this amazing reality. And superconscious mind is all knowing. All there is, basically. It's the superconscious mind. So it's like the levels of consciousness. Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
Right? The first level is where you believe that this is it. When you die, nothing's gonna happen. You're gone, right? And there are people who live like that. By the way, it's also belief. They believe they don't believe in anything. But then there is a second part where you believe that you are part of something, you're a spiritual being, right? And there's something at the other side. And then on the third one, you believe that everything is connected. We are part of the bigger thing and we are all connected. There is this amazing spiritual connection between all of us. And then the fourth level is we're all one.
Yeah.
Your expression of me.
Yeah.
You are me. I am you. And if you don't like someone, well, probably you don't like that part of yourself within you, right? So everyone is reflecting as us. So it's really beautiful.
Well, and it's
Yeah.
such a paradigm shift from our cultural programming.
Yeah.
But if beliefs create reality, and they do, what I want to ask you is what do you believe is a key takeaway you want listeners to get from our conversation?
If you want to change your life, look into your subconscious beliefs because
Mm,
they are the key to achieve anything
yes. All
and
right.
to
To wrap up the
co-create.
interview, I have a few questions for you. The first one being, what is a quote or motto that you live by?
I live by I believe that everything is possible and nothing is impossible.
Mm, mm. What is a book you're currently reading or highly recommend on this topic?
Currently read is the Conversations with God.
Mm,
And on this topic, I would say still the Dr. Bruce Lipton's book, Biology of Belief, is really amazing on this topic. So that's my two recommendations.
I have to say on Bruce, I got to meet him. He came with Greg. Was he with Greg Braden? I think they were, but they were in Boulder here at Gaia. So I got to meet Bruce. And for those that don't know Bruce Lipton, look him up. But the guy, I think it was wasn't it about 40 when he kind of had his wake up call. He like nothing was going well. And to meet him, he is this joy and light, and he has created what he calls heaven on earth. And
Yeah,
we all have access to that.
yeah, yeah. He's an amazing human being. He is just the most joyous person,
Yeah.
and he will again tell you he does subconscious work because he understands that we are creators or co-creators too, because
Yes.
we co-create this amazing reality, and heaven on earth is possible for anyone, and he created that. And I feel like I created that as well, and I wish this to everyone in this world, because if you want to change the world, guess who you should start with? Exactly, yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Final question. What advice would you give your younger self?
Oh, wow. I think I would say you're on a good path.
Mm.
You are on a good path, and journey is your destination, not destination itself.
Yeah.
Because journey of who we don't want to be is the journey to who we want to be. So I would just say you are on a good path. Yeah.
I love that. And such a great note to end on. Thank you so much for joining me today and having this conversation.
Thank you so much, Heather. I really enjoyed the conversation with you. Thank you.